guys, how's it going? Dave Genvie here again. I got my cannabis dealer sorted. Thank you. So that's sorted out now. My chest sounds a bit better. Can you hear it already? It's already improved a little bit. So asthma, if you've got asthma, you might want to check it out. A bong and a little bit of cannabis. Don't have too much, moderation, people. If you have too much, that'll mess you up. Just have a little bit. That'll help you with your asthma issues. So sorted that out. Brilliant. The other thing I want to talk about, a lot of tossers in the comments slagging me off saying, I think you're having a mental breakdown, Dave. What are you on about? My life's going better than it's ever done. Like, since I've become an oil man, doing my oil investments, so I just like literally have can chill out and stuff. My life's been great. I'm doing all sorts now. I've got into science. I'll show you my workshop in a minute. Got into science, been able to play computer games a bit more, enjoy them a bit more, do walking, do, what else do I do? I do a little bit of swimming every now and again. Walking's my main thing, I love walking. Yeah, I've been the mountain biking off, it just weren't for me anymore. I just decided I've had enough of mountain biking. I thought it was too dangerous, I thought it was too expensive, way too expensive. Too dangerous, too expensive. Just hassle really, I couldn't be bothered, and I weren't very good, I wasn't very talented, so I just thought, no, I am going to get badly hurt sooner or later, whereas I was doing bigger jumps, I was improving very slowly, incrementally improving, taking ages. I was beginning to get these bigger jumps and I thought, nah, one of these go wrong, I'm fucked, I'm in a wheelchair. You know, my life's going great at the minute. It's been better than it ever has been in my adult life. You know, I kind of separate life from when you're a kid at school, that's a laugh in it, you're just messing around having a laugh. And then when you become an adult and you've got to go to work and stuff, then it's like life gets a bit more serious then. And in terms of my life, adult life, it's never been better. This is as good as it's ever been. I used to be miserable before, I'm more upbeat now, have you noticed? I'm more upbeat, I've got more cheerfulness. And I've got into science now as well, I'll show you actually. Workshop going on. Working on all little scientific experiments. Who knows if anything's going to pay out or do it and do well. Like that, trying to devise a little new experiment for a turbine. Working on some light laser thing. Who knows? Probably none of them bleeding work, but you know, we might get something working. It's all good fun. This is what I occupy myself with, science. I'm into that. You know, doing all sorts. So stop thinking I'm having a flipping mental breakdown, you flipping fools. There's more to life than mountain biking. You do realise that, mountain bikers. There is more to life. It's not, you know, I think some of them get the idea that if you're not doing mountain biking, your life must be terrible. You know, and that ain't the case. You know, there is more. I've done football, boxing, swimming. Mountain biking is just one of the sports I've done. But I've kind of, in terms of sporting career now, it's kind of, I'm moving on now. My body's getting older. It's changing. Although I am doing boxing training again, a bit of boxing training, a little bit, not loads. Doing a little bit of the old boxing training. Because that's my favourite sport. Of all the sports I've done, boxing's always been my favourite. It's always one I thought was the best. The other thing I want to talk about is a computer game that I absolutely love, called Doom Eternal. And on this game, they need to make some changes, because I played the DLC. I played the DLC, and the DLC is crap. Like I'm a really good player. Like I've done all 4 master levels on Nightmare. And you've got to be a pretty good player to do that. All 4 master levels on the main game on Nightmare. You've got to be pretty damn decent to that game. But I played the DLC in its pants. I'm going to talk about the reasons why. The DLC is rubbish. Now the Doom Eternal team, you need to listen to me on this. I know why you've changed the movement system on that. You've made it so like on the DLC, Doom guy, it's like he's on ice skates. And the reason you've done it is because every time there's a chainsaw animation or glory kill animation, the enemies can like encroach him on the main game and surround him, and it's unfair for the player. So what you need to do is you need to change that. Now you try to change it by putting them on ice skates, and you give them an extra burst of speed to get away from those encroaching enemies. That's ridiculous. Just have the enemies dance on the spot. So they're still moving, but every time he does a chainsaw animation or a glory kill animation, they can't move towards him. They can't move backwards either. All they do is just dance on the spot. You get me? And that's it. And then like you can't get surrounded then, because that's just unfair on the player, because he has to do them glory kill animations. He has to do those chainsaw animations. But you've had it where you give him extra bursts of speed. It feels like he's on ice skates. It's ridiculous. The movement system in the main game is smooth as butter, but in the DLC it's crap. You try to rectify a flaw in the main game. What you've actually done is make the game worse, far worse. I didn't like the DLC at all. I just binned it off straight away. It was rubbish. Also, your actual like level design, like the level design in the game, is too cluttered. You've got like on the DLC, it's all too complicated and cluttered. Like separate levels, it's all cluttered. It's crap. The main game, Doom Eternal, the best sections are where you've got open area. So Necrovault, end of Necrovault Part 2, the last room, the white room, you know, with all the marble and the white room, the last room on Necrovault Part 2. That's awesome, because you've got loads of enemies in there, but you've got loads of movement. It's Doomguy's movement that makes it fun. It's nice and open, you know, there's a couple of little ramps and stuff, but it's nice and open. There's some little gravity pad things, throw them in the air, I think. I can't remember. I think there is. And it's just awesome. Whereas on the DLC, you try to make it all cluttered and it's horrible. He can't move anymore. He gets surrounded by enemies. Oh, it's just terrible. So open areas, but also you have the corridor sections to join those open areas. You know what I mean? So if you're listening to me, because I'm one of your best players, I know that, probably the best in the world, one of them. I like the platforming on the main DLC, on the main game. So a lot of people moan about that. Now BFGs and crucible shots, those need to be always accessible on the map to get to. So I've got a section at the minute where I'm doing Charasnabad Master level. I've done it a couple of times. I think I've done it at least once, completed it. I've got a section where I can't get a BFG. I can't go back through the map because an elevator won't work to take me back up to where I need to get the BFG shot. That's unfair on the player. You haven't got a system installed where they can just run back through the map to go get BFG shots or crucible shots they've left behind. Or maybe one-up lice. I'm not that interested in those, but whatever, you know what I mean? They need to be able to walk back through the map to get everything, to then go back to do a hard section on a master level, or maybe on the regular game. What else can we talk about? Oh yeah, dialogue for Doomguy. This is important. Doom Eternal thing, because I know you're going to be making that sequel now. He needs a little bit of dialogue. He wouldn't say much. He wouldn't. You know, he's not a man of many words, but he's a man of action. But he would say a little bit. So he needs a catchphrase. And what's his catchphrase? His catchphrase is, "Yeah, fuck yeah." That's his catchphrase. Yeah, fuck yeah. Just wants to fight, yeah? Or, "Rip and tear, fuck yeah." That's his like thing, he says. You could also say, "Hell yeah, fuck yeah." Like he's a bit of a badass, so he's going to swear a bit, you know what I mean? And I thought somebody else can have a wicked cutscene. There've been cutscenes where he's talking, like saying things like that. He's coming down an elevator shaft or something, like coming down in a lift, and the music's going, like it's probably like pounding music, bang, bang, getting you pumped up. And he comes down all the way to the bottom, and those doors or whatever, he kicks open the doors, and he'll say, "I'll fight any demon born of his motherfucker." Like he'll say that, and all the demons are there thinking, "Oh shit, it's the Slayer," and they're scared. "Oh, not this guy again." You know what I mean? They hate him. And yeah, it'd just be wicked. Like you can have scenes like where he runs off a cliff, cutscene. He jumps off a cliff, and he just comes down like fucking like crazy, man. Comes down, smashes through a demon's head, and he goes, "Yeah, fuck yeah," before he starts fighting them all. Could make him like well badass. Just give him basic. The kids would love it. All the kids would be like just saying it on the playground. The little kids would be on the playground going, "Yeah, fuck yeah." Do you know what I mean? Trying to be like Doomguy. Be badass, that would. So that's what you should do. I've got loads of ideas. I was going to say grenades. Grenades are a big issue in Doom Eternal. I was going to say you could have, in the main game, 2 ice grenades and 2 frags. And then in the master levels, you could have, and the DLC, because that's a harder gameplay level, you could have 3 frags and 3 ice grenades. That's a possible solution. Now I know what you're going to say, Doom Eternal team, on the grenades. You know, you're going to probably say, well, that's too many grenades from that, overpowers the player. Okay, fair enough. Here's an alternative thing you could do. Grenade pickups on the map. So when you're in an arena fighting loads of enemies, there's an ice grenade pickup. So your ice grenade's flat, and it's trying to recharge, but I need another ice grenade, but I know there's one in that arena. I know, and they know where it is because they've learnt that arena, maybe done it a few times. So they go get the ice grenade pickup, bang, they love the new ice grenade. Do you know what I mean? Could be a frag grenade pickup. You could have ice grenade or frag grenade pickups. That might be a way to solve the issue of overpowering the player with grenades. Maybe not giving them too many. You have pickups. Understand? Hopefully do. Just like you have with ammo pickups, yeah? But obviously the grenades are still recharging anyway. That's the thought. So that's another idea. I've got loads of them. Keep the energy shield on the chain gun. That is so important to have a defensive weapon, because all the other guns, they've got offense, but they've got no defense. But that's someone like a boxer like Mayweather, you know, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Boxers rely on having offense and defense. They don't just have offense. They're smart, especially the really good ones like Mayweather. They'll have the shoulder roll defense. They have an offense. So that's what makes a fighter good, having both. Do you know what I mean? So that's why the chain gun with the energy shield, I use it so much. I wouldn't bother with the boss fights. Boss fights are crap. All them boss fights in Doom Eternal main game, they're pretty crap. I like fighting Doom Hunters, I like fighting Marauders. You know, you have a big massive boss. I'm not into that. It's not my scene. But then you did give the Sentinel armour so you can just get through it, innit? But they weren't much fun. Why change the combat loop? The combat loop is open areas, fighting shitloads of enemies. That's fun then. Whereas bosses, I don't know, not for me. I've never liked them in games. Halo CE, which is my favourite shooter, other than Doom Eternal, I suppose. I don't know which one's my favourite, but I love Halo CE. There's no bosses. I think that is my favourite shooter of all time. Halo 1. All the rest of the Halos were pretty rubbish, I thought, including the Bungie ones. They're okay, they're like good, but I don't know. I actually quite like Halo Infinite. Anyway, that's another conversation. Here's another idea. This is something I think the gaming industry needs. Right, say you're in a situation where you've got 2% life. The game shouldn't give you a checkpoint because you're not healthy. Do you know what I mean? It's annoying because you get a checkpoint, you think, oh, I didn't want that checkpoint because you've now got hardly any life. It's really hard to get yourself out of that situation without getting killed because you've got so little life. The other thing you could have is a checkpoint table, like an actual menu screen. We can go back and there's like checkpoints from where you've done that level, all the checkpoints. So you can go back to a checkpoint if you want to. Do you get me? I don't know if the computers can handle that. I don't know if the Xbox could handle it. We've actually got a checkpoint table for all of them checkpoints that you've done on that level. You think, oh, I need to go back there and get that do that checkpoint again. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, it's an idea anyway. Something else on Doom Eternal. Purple goo. Now a lot of people didn't like the purple goo. The problem was, the sections where you had the purple goo, you had too much purple goo. The purple goo where they can't move, fall in and the guy can't move. What you've done there is you've created sections where it takes away all of what makes the game fun, which is the movement system of Doom Guy, the double jump, double dash thing. Jump, double dash thing. All of that's what makes him awesome. So what you could have it with the purple goo, still have it, but it's like on a, you know, on a golf course where they'll have a sand bunker. They'll have like on a golf course, they'll have a couple of sand bunkers. If you're a bit crap and you knock the ball into a sand bunker, it's your own fault. You're supposed to have the skills to avoid the sand bunkers, do you get me? So have some purple goo, but only small, you know, just patches here and just a couple of patches, not too much. I think you overdid it on the sections where there was purple goo. You had a bit too much purple goo, but it was hardly anywhere to actually, you know, it's hard to actually avoid it. Do you know what I mean? So maybe smaller patches of it. So it still keeps the player thinking, I've got to avoid that purple goo, but it's not overkill with the purple goo. And then the last thing I was going to say, because I've done all 4 master levels on Nightmare, and I reckon I'm definitely one of your best players in the world. You know, those Ultra Nightmare playthroughs you've got on YouTube are obviously fake. Obviously. You should use me as a pre-tester for the Doom Eternal sequel. There's obviously going to be a sequel, you've got to make a sequel. I know you will be. So, use me as a pre-tester to say where I think the game's good, where it's maybe not as good, things that work, things that don't work. I'm one of your best players. I think I might be your best, I don't know. I don't know how many other people have done all them 4 master levels. Can't be many, not